Have you heard about lcvoices.com? Landmark College's student news website regularly features content from Voices TV, WLMC Radio, and Voices Magazine. But that's not all. LC Voices also features work from you, Landmark students. LC Voices is your opportunity to publish any art, photography, creative writing, or journalism that you are passionate about. If you have any work that you want to share with our community, send all submissions to voices@landmark.edu.
Hello Landmark students, welcome back to Voices TV. I'm Venkatesh Chandrasekharan and I'll be subbing for Guinevere this week. For a quick adjustment, we have changed our weekly club schedule to Club Spotlight. And with that, let's head into this week's programming. Let's get started with general campus updates. On Monday from 12 to 1 p.m., there's a How Are You Doing lunch with Mark Turman and Hannah Marcus. The lunch will be a safe place to talk about how everyone is doing this semester, as well as the two specific incidents that happened at Dress Hall in September and the Student Center earlier this October. On Sunday, there will be a Scare If You Dare Halloween party at the Student Center game room from 8 to 11 p.m. There will be music, piñatas, candy, and more. Costumes are optional. Then next week, on the 2nd, there will be a blood drive with health services. The drive will be located in the cafe court. Heading into rest life. On Monday is alumni dancing with the stars watch party from 8 to 10 p.m. Tuesday nights is the Davis Hall. Tuesday's movie night in Davis Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. And finally on Thursday is a crafts night at Alumni Hall from 7 to 10 p.m. For straddles this week, there'll be 2 days for Brattleboro and 3 for Keene. For Brattleboro on Wednesday, one straddle leaves at 5 p.m. and the second at 6 p.m. Then on Sunday there are 3 straddles. The first at 9:30 a.m., the second at 10:30 a.m. and the last at 1 p.m. For Keene on Tuesday there are two leaving at 4 p.m. and at 6:30 p.m. For Friday, there are 2 more, 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. And finally, on Saturday, there are 3 The first leaves at 2:30 p.m., the second leaves at 5 p.m., and the final leaves at 7:30 p.m. For Club Spotlight, on October 15th, Arcade Club celebrates its 5th anniversary. It starts with a presentation regarding general club updates and reminders of rules, then moves on into the club's history. In spring of 2019, there were 3 things that Daniel Moser and his friends had in common. They both loved video games, they both loved Chuck E. Cheese, and most importantly, they were Landmark College students. When they pitched their original idea for a club based on commonalities, their benefactors doubted it would last for a month. However, the club's success rate didn't simply meet it surpassed expectations. And over the course of 4 to 5 years, the Arcade Club served over 400 students, almost the maximum number of students at Landmark College. The key to the Arcade Club's success was, and still is the fact that it brings Landmark students together and creates a sense of community together. As Daniel puts it, we want you to feel supportive, to feel heard, to feel engaged. This is our goal. The presentation concluded by discussing planning for the future and what will happen next, to which Daniel Moser says, when the group gets its full transition at the end of the next spring, it's going to be hard for me at least. After the presentation, food and drinks was provided, all participants courtesy of the club, and a movie was shown, followed by a games play session on the usual equipment. Anyone who's interested or curious about the arcade club know that it's more than just about video games. It's about meeting to discuss off-campus trips, upcoming programs and events. For weekly event, the Student Center Game Room has karaoke night from 8 to 9 on Monday, Tuesdays from 8 to 10, social night, and lastly on Sunday from 8:30 to 9:30 is the Village Tournament, hosted by the Office of Student Activities in the Jackbox night in the admin auditorium from 7 to 10 p.m. on Wednesday. Hosted by the Center of Neurodiversity on Tuesday from 3 to 5 is a study hall located in admin 225, followed by a neurodiversity session from 6 to 7 in the Stone Hall Coffee House. And then finally, on Friday, join Yale Schwartz in Dining Hall Conference Room for the Shabbat Scandal lighting event from 6 to 7. For CDI, on Monday, the Rise Up Center is having a Malcolm X movie night. Tuesday, the Palante Center is having folk tales and around a fire. Wednesday, the Women and Gender is doing pumpkin decorating. On Friday, and finally on Thursday, the Stonewall Center is having an asexual awareness discussion. And finally, we move into other campus programming. On Tuesday, there'll be a Inktober painting session online from 5 to 6. On Wednesday from 1 to 3, there will be a Putney wall leaving from Alumni Hall. Then from 3 to 4, Campus Safety is hosting Women's Freedom discussion. And finally, for Thursday, there will be a lunch with President in the Dining Hall Conference Room from 12 to 1 p.m. And that's what we have for this week's programming. Let's check in with Jalen for this week's weather report.
Thanks, Venkatesh. What are the odds? We are off to a yet another wet start this week between Monday and Thursday, with an exception of Friday being partially cloudy, followed by a rainy weekend. On Monday will be showers with a high of 61. Let's just hope our therapy dog Margot has a raincoat for her walk. On Tuesday will be showers with a high of 67. It should be dry by the time tales around the fire commence in the evening. On Wednesday will be showers with a high of 65. Not too bad for Wargaming Club, impressions writing, Jackbox game night, esports, and certainly not too bad for Decorate a Pumpkin just in time for Halloween and Women and Gender Center. On Thursday will be again showers with a high of 63, likely decent for a trip to McDonald's. On Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 55. Nothing is better for a day like that than a shuttle to Keene. On Saturday will be showers with a high of 60, perfect day for a trip for Prodigy Mini Golf. On Sunday will be showers with a high of 56. Hopefully Larpin won't get rained out. Let's head over to Kenny for this week's sports report.
Thanks, Jalen. We're going to be talking about what's new from Intramurals, Billiards Club, and our weekly MLB recap. First up, Intramurals will be featuring kickball this week. Come down and join a drop-in game at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday night in the Click Center gym to play against other Landmark College students for an in-house competition. Rules will be explained at the beginning of the night. No experience is necessary, all equipment will be provided, and all abilities are welcome. In their weekly billiards tournament during Indigenous Peoples Weekend, the club saw Karina Alanis come in first place with Liam Miller in second and Jalen Cyrus taking third place. Last week's tournament saw a shakeup in the winner's bracket, with Owen Carr coming out on top to win, with Liam Miller remaining in second place and Bob Ross, aka John Garrity, making his way into third place. On to the MLB playoffs. Week 3 of the playoffs is in full swing with the last ALDS wrapping up and both league championship series underway. We left off last week with the Cleveland Guardians leading the New York Yankees 2-1 in the last ALDS. The Yankees tied up the series after winning Game 4 4-2 and sent the Guardians home after a commanding 5-1 Game 5 win to move on to face the Houston Astros in the ALCS. Game 1 of the ALCS went to the Houston Astros in a 4-2 victory. The Yankees got on the scoreboard first in the top of the second inning with a Harrison Bader home run, but the Astros responded at the bottom of the second thanks to a Martin Maldonado double. The Astros scored 3 more times off single-run homers in the 6th and 7th innings to take the lead. The Yankees tried to rally with an Anthony Rizzo home run in the top of the 8th but fell short. The Astros took Game 1 in a 4-2 victory. Over in the NLCS sees the San Diego Padres versus the Philadelphia Phillies. The underdog Phillies stunned the Padres in a 2-0 shutout victory to claim Game 1 thanks to a Bryce Harper home run in the 4th inning and a 488-foot Kyle Schwarber home run in the 6th inning, which also set the record for longest home run in Petco Park history. The Padres answered in a big way to come back and even the series in a Game 2 8-5 win. The top of the second saw a single from Alec Boehm, which let Bryce Harper score, a double from Matt Vierling, which let Nick Castellanos score, a Edmundo Sosa single, which let Alec Boehm score, and a Kyle Schwarber ground out, which let Matt Vierling score, giving the Phillies an early 4-0 lead. The Padres got on the scoreboard quickly thanks to single-runner home runs from Brandon Drury and Josh Bell in the bottom of the second. The Padres took over the game after a strong 5th inning. An Austin Nola single let Ha-Sung Kim score, Juan Soto doubles to drive Austin Nola home for the score, Brandon Drury singles to let Juan Soto score, and then Josh Bell singles to let Jake Cronenworth score. A Manny Machado single-runner homer in the 7th inning was the final nail in the coffin to put 8 runs on the board for the Padres. Rhys Hoskin with a late comeback attempt from a single-runner homer in the 8th inning, but it just wasn't enough. That's it for this week's sports recap. Tune in next week to hear about the Landmark College soccer team's final games, more from the Billiards Club, and a recap of the rest of the MLB Championship Series. Back to you, Venki.
Thank you, Kenny, for this week's sports recap. We hope you'll all have a great week, and remember, Halloween is just around the corner. I'm Venkatesh Chandrasekharan. We'll see you all next.